How's it going, everybody? It is IceRed64 here, and today we are gonna talk about Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, I never played a FNAF game in my life. Until recently, that is. We got recommended on the channel to play Five Nights at Freddy's, and well, I did stream Five Nights at Freddy's, played it, and now I'm here to talk about it. How scary is it? What I find scary, what I don't find scary, pros, cons, what I liked, what I didn't. So I guess you can say this is my little review and my little thoughts and opinions. So yeah, without any further ado, do consider leaving a like, subscribe. We are extremely close to 800 subscribers. That would mean the world to me. And of course, leave a comment. I respond to every comment that I see. And of course, let me know what you like the most about Five Nights at Freddy's 1. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. So first off, I would like to mention the things that I actually found scary in the game. So, the first thing that I would like to mention is ambience noises. Ambience noises are very important in any game, especially horror games. And Five Nights at Freddy's 1 does that beautifully and masterfully. Honestly, it always kept me on my tippy toes. Just like thinking about it now makes me just shiver. Ugh. Bonnie, for an example, and Chica and Freddy, they will all make little thumping noises, like when they move, they will make like pop, pop, pop noise when they're walking, and you might think you're safe. Like, you don't know maybe where they are, right? You may be checking the doors, you're maybe checking something, right? And you hear footsteps. You don't know who's moving. You're maybe looking at Freddy or Foxy on the camera, and you hear footsteps. You're immediately thinking, I'm in danger. I need to check the doors. And, like you're always like, it feels anxious and it feels very unnerving. You're always kind of on your tippy toes, overthinking. Your brain is getting overloaded, essentially making you afraid of your own shadow. And those like noises of like footsteps or others that I'm going to be mentioning do really boost that fear factor that you have, making you slowly go insane, I would like to say. And obviously footsteps aren't the only noises, but there's also different types of background noises. There are also, noises from the kitchen. For an example, Chica and Freddy will go to the kitchen. Now, when Chica goes to the kitchen, you will hear her, banging her pots and pans and that type of stuff. So you will know that she's in the kitchen, and you will know that she is very close. And same thing goes with Freddy. When he goes to the kitchen, he will start playing his music box. Although you do not have any view in the kitchen, because you can't see anything, the camera doesn't work there, you will be able to hear it, which is actually that room pretty close to the main office, and you know that you are in grave danger. So, there's also one more noise that I would like to mention, which I guess you can count as an ambience noise, but sometimes the game will have different sorts of events, let's call them, little Easter eggs. Sometimes your main character will start getting hallucinations, where it says, "It's me," and showing Freddy's and Bonnie's face in a flash. And they will start actually mumbling some random, deep robotic gibberish, I guess. I'm sorry, I never managed to like hear what they actually said. That would freak me the frick out, because like they would start just flashing you with these random animatronics heads, saying it's me, and then start mumbling in that deep robotic voice. It's very unnerving, especially because it catches you off guard, because that isn't something like guaranteed to happen. It will occasionally, sometimes randomly happen, and it is surprising. It catches you off guard, it catches you in a surprise, and you are basically just there like, whoa, what is this? So that's something that I definitely found the most scary, in my opinion. The noises make the game very unnerving and add to the fear factor a lot, in my opinion. Now, speaking of Easter eggs, there is also Golden Freddy, and Freddy that is staring his head off, which you can see in one of the rooms. There's a little poster of Freddy usually there, but there is a slight chance that the poster will change into Freddy ripping his head off, or Golden Freddy himself, who appears in your office if you look at it too long and kills you. Golden Freddy just sitting there in your office, just staring at you menacingly, in silence, just being there, honestly makes it very uncanny, very spooky. So I will give bonus points to that. I kind of do feel a little neutral because I didn't really feel scared by Golden Freddy. It made me more feel uncomfortable than scared, you know. It's like, okay, he is just sitting there, hey, hello, you know, you're waiting, like, what's he gonna do? You know, he's just sitting there staring into your eyes, you know, in that dead position and glowing eyes, and, you know, really makes you think, what is gonna happen to me now? Now, honestly, that's about it when it comes to scary stuff. Let's go to something else. For instance, let's go to the main cast of animatronics. We have Freddy, Chica, Bonnie, and Foxy. So, what is their deal? Honestly, their designs, I would say, are pretty creepy. Like, if we got to see them, like, in all honesty, they have extremely scary designs, right? But the thing is, I feel like you really don't get to see the animatronics that much, you know? And what I mean by that is, I guess this is a little critique that I would have, is basically maybe like through night 1 and 2, like you would constantly check the cameras and follow the animatronics and, you know, stare at them, all of them. But like essentially, you don't have to be like a FNAF pro to kind of realize some things, you know, like, you know, you have to save power, and then, you know, you just check on Foxy quickly, Freddy, and that's it. And then you shine your doors, you know, to see our Bonnie and Chica there. So you don't have to use other cameras, right? Camera really becomes useless. Like, yeah, you just look at Freddy for a little just to reset his timer, and then you know, check Foxy, you know, to know is he, you know, gonna come running, so you know how to close the door, and that's basically it. Which kind of does, I don't want to say make me sad, but I do think it's a shame, because I find the designs of FNAF 1 animatronics to be the scariest in the whole FNAF franchise. Again, in my opinion, FNAF 1 animatronics are the scariest because they just have that dead feeling, right? Like, you know, they look like they shouldn't be moving or alive, and then, you know, their laughs and noises they make, and they move around and they stare at you, and they're in the, they look very uncanny, they look very scary, and especially, you know, they're large, you know, and their costumes are big, and they look kind of like they're hanging from them, you know, like they don't fit. So that is really, in my opinion, very scary, and I think it's a shame that we don't get to see the animatronics that much, because essentially, again, as I say, like, the moment you pick up, like, the best and I guess only strategy for FNAF 1 is just shine the doors for Bonnie and Chica, and then occasionally just look at the camera where look at the camera where Freddy and Foxy are. And even then, you just look at it for like a second, you know, just to see the situation, you know, to reset Freddy, and to, you know, just check on which stage Foxy is. And, you know, speaking of Foxy, he is the one animatronic I think you see the most on cameras, because you really have to, like, keep a close eye on him. And yet, you know, when he jump scares you, I guess you do get to see him. You know, he kind of leans into your office. He doesn't have a fully fledged, like, jump scares like everybody else. You know, they play like a GIF or like a, you know, whatever. And Foxy just kind of gets in, leans in, you know, he looks at you like, hey, hello. And that's about it. So I guess Foxy is one of the animatronics that you get to see more often, I guess. But, like, when it comes to others, like, you will mostly see Chica and Bonnie at your doors when you shine the light at them. And even then, like, the moment you shine your light at them, you just close the door, right? So you don't even get to see them, especially Bonnie, because, you know, at least when Chica appears in your door and then you shine the light to see, you know, is she still there, at least you can see her, you know? When it comes to Bonnie, like, you just see his shadow in a sense, which kind of, you know, sucks. Would be cool, you know, to see him directly, but oh well. And another thing that I would like to say is Freddy. Freddy, you get to see him like once on the stage, and then you get to see him like, you know, during the jump scares, and like maybe like on that like final camera before he, you know, jump scares you. You barely get to kind of like see his head. He's staring into the camera, but like that's it. You don't get to see him like fully, you just get to see his head in a sense. So I feel it's a shame because the animatronics have so much potential. They look so creepy, so scary, but you don't get to see them that much other than like when they jump scare you, you know? Or like when they appear in your door, you know, you just close the door on them, you know, and wait it out. That's really it. And speaking, you know, of the strategy and cameras, I don't want to say the camera feels useless, but I definitely realized why Scott Coffin added the music box to FNAF 2, because in FNAF 1, the music box really not music box, god damn it, not music, the camera feels a little, I don't want to say useless, but like other than like checking, you know, on like where Foxy is and like maybe, you know, looking at Freddy for like literally split second just to reset him, you know, and same goes with Foxy, like you check him, like you look at him like for a split second, you know, just to know like should you close your door or not, you know, and that's kind of like, that's it. You know, when it comes to like Bonnie and Chica, you don't have to track them with the camera, because they will show up at your door, and you know, if you're quick enough, just keep shining your door to check are they there, and if they are, just close the door and that's it, you know, wait for them to go away. You know, simplest and only FNAF 1 strategy. So yeah, that is something that I would like, you know, would have liked that it was, you know, more important, I guess. You know, obviously in FNAF 2, you know, they changed that with the music box, which still, in my opinion, just gives the same thing, really, you know, as to checking Foxy in FNAF 1, but still I do get, you know, the reasoning of giving, you know, the camera a bigger importance. Because once the puppet is out of the box, you know, you're gone, like it's game over. While here, you know, Foxy does run, I guess, but you still have a chance to defend yourself because you can hear him running, and if you're fast and or lucky enough, you can close the door on time on him, even if he, you know, runs. Or, you know, just keep the door closed if you want. I mean, sure, you will be wasting like ton of power, but hey, you know, it's a way to counter him, I guess. A very expensive way, but a way nonetheless. So, yeah, basically, that is one complaint that I would have, that we don't see the animatronics a lot, and that camera really feels a little underwhelming, I would say. Now, I want to touch up on Golden Freddy. Golden Freddy is the only character that I feel is in between the lines for me, because in one hand, I think he's very cool, right? When you see his poster in that one room, like, it really like surprises you because you don't expect it, especially when you're playing like for the first time, right? Sure, I watched it on YouTube, but it's very different when you're watching somebody on YouTube and when you're actually playing it yourself. Like, I got surprised, even though I saw that like millions of times when I was a kid, when I was watching FNAF 1. But still, you know, that happening to me still surprised me, right? And then Golden Freddy finally appearing in your office, despite your doors being shut or not. He appears in your office, and then he jump scares you. Just a PNG image of his head appears, and a very, very loud noise plays, and it crashes your game. I do see how that would be scary and spooky. To me personally, it wasn't, but I would find it more annoying. Do I find it cool? Absolutely, it was fucking cool. That was the coolest shit in FNAF 1 to this day, in my personal opinion. Golden Freddy is the GOAT. The GOAT. But, you know, now when I was streaming the game, you should, by the way, check that out, link in the description. It was kind of annoying because, especially when you're streaming or recording, but especially streaming, because, you know, you have people there, you have to basically boot up the game again, you know, so you would have a blank screen for a while, which kind of does suck. You know, it is cool that it crashes your game, but, you know, as a content creator, I guess it could be a little annoying, especially if you run into him, you know, multiple times, right? I only ran into Golden Freddy once when I was streaming, so, you know, wasn't really that big of a deal, but I definitely see it for somebody, you know, that's recording, or, you know, streaming, and being annoying, encountering Golden Freddy multiple times, which would mean, you know, your game would crash multiple times. If you're recording, you would probably edit that out, which gives you a lot more work. And when you're streaming, you know, the people that are watching you might just not be interested. They would think, oh, you're, you know, especially who doesn't know about FNAF, they would go, oh, okay, his game crashed, you know, something's wrong, I'm gonna leave now, you know. Or like simply people won't have the patience for you to boot up the game, you know. I mean, it is what it is, but that is something that I would see more on the side of a content creator. I think like for, if you're not making content, then that would definitely be even more scarier, because you'd be, what's going on, right? Like, what's happening? You know, what happened? My game crashed, right? Golden Freddy closed my game, oh my god, you know, like you'd be surprised and shocked and scared. While here you're more like, god damn it, I have to boot it up again. Oh, this will be more editing for me. Oh, you know, there goes the views, you know, that type of thing. But, yeah. Other than that, my complaint would be that jump scares take too... I think the jump scares are scary. Especially Bonnie's, like Bonnie as the scariest jump scare in my opinion. And Freddy when the lights go out. I think those two moments are extremely like spooky. When the lights go out, it's really uncanny, it's unnerving, it's just nerve-wracking. Like you're expecting, when is it gonna happen, right? And especially when you hear like Freddy moving slowly towards you, hearing his footsteps, finally ending your run. And also Bonnie. I just find Bonnie scary, in my opinion. Yeah. I don't know about y'all, but Bonnie is my scariest. Let me know who's your scariest FNAF animatronic in the comments down below. But the one complaint that I do have is that jump scares take way too long. And what I mean by that is, if you don't close your door on time on Bonnie or Chica, they are going to jam your door and your light, so you won't be able to close that door or shine the light. But the thing is, they won't attack you unless you pull up your monitor camera and pull it down. So essentially, they can jam your door, but you can still continue your run, dare I say even finish the night, with one door, if you're lucky enough, of course, you know, especially if Chica is the one blocking your door, and, you know, Freddy being, you know, less active, you know, as long as you can, you know, keep an eye on, like, I don't know, Bonnie and Foxy, like, you're good, right? Like, you can just keep the door closed, or I guess just keep listening for Foxy, and hey, if you have good headphones and have quick reflexes, yeah, you can counter Foxy even without a camera, right? So I do think that is a little annoying. Like, so what? Like, you're just gonna stand there jamming the light and the door for like what, the whole night? You know, just end me already. You know, like, it doesn't even feel like scary to me. It feels. I just wish that they didn't like jam the light. In my opinion, like, jam the door, stop the door, but I wish at least that we could see the animatronic, right? You know, like in your office or something, you know? that would be more scarier. But like, you know, just a dark door, you can't see anything, but you know what's gonna happen. But like, I think it'd be more creepy, like if you were just, you know, to see, okay, it's game over, you know, Chica's already in my office, you know, Bonnie's already in my office, you know, he's just standing there, you know, towering over you, just looking at you menacingly. I think that would be like so much more creepy. But nonetheless, it is what it is. And same goes like with Freddy, when the lights go out. It is a little unnerving. It is not a little, it is very unnerving. It is very creepy. It is very unsettling, but you kind of get used to it, right? And once you get used to it, it isn't as scary anymore. It really comes to the point like where it becomes annoying, like in the sense of just, you know, end my night already, just kill me already, you know? So yeah, that is, I guess, a little complaint that I have, but that is a final complaint, really. um Honestly, yeah, that's about it. Like, and there's like positives. Biggest positives, like I said, the animatronic designs, the office, it's very claustrophobic. I personally don't have claustrophobia, so I didn't mention it in the scary part, because I'm giving you my side of the story, giving you my perspective and thoughts and opinions on it. But if you do have claustrophobia, I think Five Nights at Freddy's 1 is gonna be like 100 times more scary than it you know, is. So yeah, I personally don't have issues with that, but definitely if you have claustrophobia, FNAF 1 is going to be like 100 times more scarier for you, because you are stuck in a very, very small office. Now, what I do like about FNAF 1 is the Easter eggs, like the hallucinations, like Golden Freddy, like, I don't know, Freddy ripping his head off, like saying it's me on Foxy's sign instead of, you know, out of order, you know, other things, right? I don't know, Foxy singing and that type of stuff. It's really cool and it is entertaining. Now, whether you find it scary or entertaining, it doesn't matter. Like, it is a positive experience nonetheless. It'll either scare you even more, or it will actually entertain you, or at least pique your interest. So that is something that I really enjoyed, appreciated, and liked a lot. And yeah, honestly, I really liked the designs, like, of the whole game, like in general. Everything's really creepy and uncanny, like from the very beginning of, you know, the title screen, to the sounds, you know, to the game menu, to just everything, the office, the designs, the animatronics, like everything feel like looks surprisingly very realistic, even for a game as old as Five Nights at Freddy's 1. Everything looks very realistic, feels very creepy, unnatural, uncanny. So yeah, those are my opinions. Did I find Five Nights at Freddy's scary? I would say kind of. And my spooky rating, you know, how scary the game is on a scale from 1 to 10, I would give it a 6. Yeah, okay, you know what, I will give it a 5.5. I'll give it a 5.5. And like, game overall, not just as horror, you know, scary, but like as a whole game in general, I give it like an 8 out of 10, because it's simple and it works, right? Which is, I think, personally for me, the best combination possible. Simple but effective. So yeah, that is all I have to say. We will be playing every single Five Nights at Freddy's game, except the VR runs. I don't have a VR, unfortunately, but, you know, we shall see. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're new here, please consider leaving a like, subscribe, leave down a comment, and let me know what did you find the scariest about Five Nights at Freddy's 1, what did you like, what you didn't like. Let me know which game would you like to see me play next, and without any further ado, I shall see you all in the next one. Peace.